Hello everyone! So I wanted to read to you my research paper. It is called Political Correctness, the Encroachment on Freedom of Speech. Political correctness is often a wolf in sheep's clothing. Political correctness is the monitoring of words used by people and determining if those words are safe for others to hear. There are a few reasons given for having political correctness. One of those reasons is to prevent harassment. Another is that there are people with PTSD, and we as a people should do anything in our power to stop them from having a psychological fit. It is seen that bad speech, however defined, is actually a form of violence against other people. In reality, however, political correctness is not there to protect anyone. It is there to control the masses and destroy dissenting opinions. The thing is, virtually anything can be trigger-inducing for those with PTSD, and goals to protect those with it not only slows down the healing process for those with it, but also is a great way to control the population on a roadmap for compassionate totalitarianism. For those in control could say literally anything another person says is violent, and then enact punishment upon them. Freedom of speech is our right being born in the United States and in any other country that adheres to the laws of the United Nations, as it is a universal human right. However, the government's treatment of the people is the only thing that freedom of speech can apply to. Something that the government controls are our schools, however. Political correctness has begun to encroach on campuses around the country and some other countries as well. In one school, for example, a student had yelled the words "water buffalo" down at a bunch of noisy kids below. Those kids tried getting him in trouble for racial harassment, despite those words having nothing to do with race. The word meant thoughtless and rowdy in the originating student's culture. This led to a series of court cases. Why? When he can say anything that doesn't incite violence under freedom of speech? Another instance was at Valdosta State University, where the president of the university kicked somebody out of the school entirely for posting a collage on Facebook that mocked, on environmental grounds, the president's plan to build a new parking garage on campus, saying that this Facebook post was a clear and present danger to himself and the campus. Quite literally, a kid got kicked out of school for expressing himself online about a campus policy, and political correctness did not allow him to continue his studies because he used his birth-given right. Why? We have freedom of speech. Dissenting opinions shouldn't affect any student at any school's ability to continue attending. Truly, this political correctness is politically motivated deception, rather than what we truly make it out to be. This might be happening because socially there are those who commit hate speech. The concept refers to those offensive expressions directed against human groups that have been historically discriminated against based on gender or sexual option, race, religion, or similar situations. Because universities have rules about hate speech, people are able to use these rules as an excuse to push their own agendas. Hate speech is what enables people to discuss the limits of freedom of speech and liberal tolerance. The government itself does not have laws against hate speech, but there are rules against it on college campuses, including our own school. It is reasonable that people would not want traditionalists to raise their voices without limit. It is dangerous for these hateful opinions to spread, especially since they do not contain any logic. However, if unusual or unpleasant opinions are not allowed, they will resurface on any underground place not monitored by schools where logic and reason are predominant, the most popular place being the internet. On a legal standpoint, the limit of freedom of expression can only be proposed from the damage to third parties, an injustice that must be real or imminent, and interpreted in a restrictive or strict manner. But this can only apply to individuals, and not entire groupings of people as they exist under the definition of hate speech. By having hate speech as a concern, the people who have power in academic settings have the ability to enact more than what the government does, even in public schools funded by the government. They can go overboard trying to defend and protect the students on campus from hate speech, ultimately resulting in instances like that of the person who yelled down at their classmates' water buffalo for a small domestic disturbance. Freedom of speech is important to have it because it aids in discovering truth or developing knowledge, to serve people's interest in self-development or autonomy, and to be necessary for democratic forms of self-government. In the past, certain ideas have been censored before that held certain religious or political views, which later were considered valuable. As Burgos points out, the defenders of freedom of expression warn of the danger of delegating to state power the decision about the value of certain expressions or opinions. It is preferable to leave in the hands of the market of ideas the refutation and rejection of the wrong ideas and opinions, such as those that are behind the expressions of hatred. We should agree with him, for if we do not, the continuation of our freedom of speech can slowly be chipped away. Sure, some hate speech will be averted, some people won't be triggered, but also it is already happening. There are people who have the unalienable right to pursue happiness destroyed by what people believe to be censoring out those whose words would do major harm. When in fact, they are only enforcing their politically correct political views upon them. Perhaps a better solution to the problem would be, instead of silencing discriminators with censorship and worrying about the mental state of people who need more exposure to the triggers anyways, to raise the volume of the other side of what is to be harmful and disagreed with, so that those who have harmful opinions are outnumbered and unable to do any real damage anymore. And also, here is my works cited page, just in case you would like to look at the original documents that I did research on, or used to research in writing this paper. So I hope you enjoyed my research paper. I spent quite a lot of time on it, and I didn't want it to disappear into the depths of nothingness. So thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Bye! Dun 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 dun.